Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to the Blob. We have another level called the Hanging Gardens. We did Docklands last time and just continuously struggling to even get through the levels without running out of time, and the levels are just getting longer and longer. If anything, I would say they are getting longer more than they even are getting more difficult, because in the Docklands they really didn't introduce that much of a new enemy, although we are basically getting one new enemy every level. And if we're listening to music labeled Defiant here, I suspect we're getting towards the end of the game with one big boss fight. So the underground is now pirating the radio stations and or pirating the TV stations, I guess. And our main bad guy here still doesn't really make himself look like he's a threat, which would kind of make me assume that what's going to happen here is he'll turn into some like giant version of himself. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a like color armor he'll have, since they introduced the idea of color armor that changes, and almost certainly I'm going to have to hit him either with brown, which is a mixture of all the colors, or hit him with each color individually, each primary and secondary color, for 100. I wouldn't be surprised if the entire final level is just circling around a giant enemy while you're trying to collect things. Although, what we really would need now, and I would hope it would be retroactive, but it probably wouldn't be, is if they introduced paint bots, that instead of giving us 30 paint, gave us 50, or gave us 100. 50 might be the maximum that you could go for, since you can only hold 100. Although, you know, being upgraded so you could hold more would be nice too. Welcome to the birthplace of radiant civilization, Blob. The fabled Hanging Gardens are nearby, but they've been subverted for use as an ink treatment plant. Inked desecration of this sacred site is the last straw. The foul forces of ink have flooded the whole settlement. Drain the ink and save our streets. Now, I wanted to play this game as kind of a contrast of a ink-based The Mighty Abyss Waits Below. Interesting. Maybe we'll go underground. We haven't seen any levels underground. It's been you can explore the secrets or cross over above too, or probably both. Yeah, effectively this whole game has been kind of water levels. Well, no, not really. There's water in the levels, but that doesn't make a water level. Water levels tend to have you intentionally moving through the water, and if anything, this game has done a really good job of making it so you can't or wouldn't want to move in water. But yeah, I wanted to play this game as a contrast to Disney Epic Mickey 2, which has bad guys made out of ink, and let's see, a ink spraying mechanic as far as in the gameplay. And yeah, you never get in Epic Mickey 2 an area that is so yeah, you don't get a whole area that is just flooded with ink in Epic Mickey 2. which Yeah. I'm making this worse, not better. There we go. Yeah. I guess the point I'm struggling to make there is that I just feel like this has just done a much better job in making ink be your enemy in the game. Like, and having ink be an actual ink, where in Epic Mickey they really the blots are the enemies and they're said to be made out of ink, but they don't really work. They don't really work like they actually are made out of ink. They are just enemies that you can either hit with thinner or you can hit with filler. This should make this whole level fairly easier. I noticed something in the recording that when I was in the shaking section, the top right and top left of the screen in one area was glitching out as the screen shook. I'm not seeing that actually in the game though, so there may have just been some weirdness in that one section. See, now it's just way safer to potentially roll around. But it's probably not wise to go to a place until you're really ready. I have no idea where I am or where I'm supposed to be going here, but while we're at it, we'll unlock as much as possible. The camera is still pretty bad, though, for this. Like, it's still way too easy to get all turned around. And not even really know if you've hit the right section or the wrong section of the level. Like, I really don't know where that starting spot was that we started at. So, what I guess I would like otherwise though would be if there was an overall amount of progress that was being made in removing ink in the world, and that as I potentially beat levels or paint more of the world, I'm making it a safer world where you can find more secrets. I could see, I've said it before, that if this was a circular kind of open world game and didn't have distinctive levels, instead had more distinctive areas, just regions, and then a shielded kind of gate in every direction to unlock the next section. That would be nice. Kind of like a world border you might have enabled in a Minecraft map. You could achieve that by having a sea of ink around an area, and then you would have the player recede the sea of the ink. I think I'm missing some sections here. Yeah, and see, I think that may have been the starting section, and this whole part here may have been flooded, I think. So, they kind of are doing it for this one level, but they're not doing it for every place. Where's the radians? They should have jumped out. There should be some radians around here, but I guess not. Come on. Let's see. Tube above me is a super shortcut high above in the abyss. It's the quickest way to the next section, but you'll miss the ancient ruins beneath. If you prefer the such ruins, look for a Z jump. So if you're going to do the challenges, it seems like the game specifically is going to make you pick. This does feel also like this is a fairly small area. Things potentially hidden in the depths of a smaller area. It does seem like a more appealing way to make a level instead of going wider with repetitive content. Interesting, it's pointing towards a challenge over here. Let's take on that one. Okay, we need to reach the heights. Let's see what this is. More Inkies on the rooftops of the factories here. Go get them. I don't see them because they took a while to load in. Interesting. Getting inked doesn't stop you from defeating those enemies, though. That's probably a good move. Let's see, we need to be yellow. Okay. So let's see what this challenge leads to. And for the most part, I kind of just think I probably have done as much as reasonable to do here. Way down to the abyss was a secret garden, but it's now a dumping ground for toxic ink waste. If you're ready to explore, follow the safe jumps. Let's take the low road. There might be an achievement for taking one road. Now this is a game that... Yeah, so it definitely seems like you could just go back up. It is built in such a way where it definitely feels like you would need to go through the levels twice. That being said, the main initial hook here is not quite good enough in my mind to justify playing the game twice. It is going to be probably a bit of a struggle to decide whether or not I really want to try and unlock everything there is in this game. Inky's down here as well. Send me to the abyss. These under columns all potentially would need to be colored in if you're trying to get 100% colored in. Although I really do think there's probably just an achievement for doing that once in one level, not a requirement to do it once in every level. Having the section underground, I'm not sure 100% works as a concept, because all the enemies we've seen so far have been very industrialized in their visual style. So I don't think it quite makes sense to have like an underground section or a cavernous section. More enemies to fight. The game is generally just throwing me in circles. We now have water down here instead of ink, which is slightly safer. Where are these enemies I'm supposed to be fighting now? Oh, they're over here. New challenge. So yeah, the whole thing kind of feels like it's not really going to send me to a cavernous area as much as it's just going to send me in this crevice area. And you would think there would be something special about like that, but it doesn't really seem like it is the case. still going in circles. I'll take the Z jump. And that kind of put me in a circle. And just watch the spikes on the walls, I guess. Is there no end to the Ink's nefariousness? Once again, they have flooded the ancient ground. Roll with caution until you can lower the ink. Once the ink is gone, you can reach the gate. Although pretty obviously not until it's gone. Now notice that this level is not actually asking me to paint things. This is more of a movement focused level. We can get through this sector until we can't get through this sector until we drop the ink level. We need to break through to the water pump. You'll be under heavy fire and any mistake will drop you down into the ink, I believe, in your Blob. Alright. Okay. So I'm covered in ink. Thus I'm being inked. So I might as well just fall in the ink. Okay. So then that we just need to take this out. I hope that this just needs Blob. 50 purple paint. Okay. For blue, so we just need to find red over here. And then jump over and dump in 50. Now I've never seen anything in this game despawn, and I guess the game is kind of nice about that, but these levels are fairly small, so there's not that much of a need for things to despawn. And this just completely opens up the area now, and have an actual paint challenge or two, which is what I would have expected. Yeah, there was a time here, and we lost that extra time, but that really would have only been a few seconds. The concentrated poison in these double and triple signs need a massive dose of color energy to neutralize. We need to paint them different colors at each double level. Get a blue and yellow. Okay. So on this level, it's all supposed to be yellow, which doing this level first is probably a mistake. Get in the water though, then you have to find a way to get out of the water. just paint things. This is, I guess, how you would have entered through the highway, so we could go back and I guess take out some challenges. I've got a minute 5. I can't target the enemies, I mean paint bots, which I guess are technically enemies, although really they're more helpful than anything. We need green. Was that washing away my paint power the more I stood on it? I think it was. Okay. Green. 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 Ah, this is just not easy to reach. Blue. Yellow. Green. Green. That does wash away your points, doesn't it? Blue, yellow, green. Okay. Blue. 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 Do I have any water source to wash myself off with? No, not safely. And staying in the ink, I'm sure, just makes things worse. We need yellow. Great example of how these levels just can get really slow. So that really leaves me not able to say much of anything, and then there's just no commentary to make when you're taking the extra 2 minutes to an extra 2 minutes to beat a challenge. Just because it's a slow moving character. There is definitely an alternate reality version of a game like this where you would have flung yourself around as a blob way more, and that kind of movement technology would help you. Orange. Now looking for orange, which I think we can pull off. These are still the quests that I like the least, though. It just takes any aspect of potentially wanting to be creative out of the realm of possibility and forces you just to paint things. however the game expects you them to be painted. And you can kind of guess, too, what color they're going to want, just based on what color is closest to where the challenge starts. If there's multiple colors, you kind of assume that there's a combination secondary color. I'm definitely missing entire parts. And I like that you can jump and reach those sections without having to be from the upper part, but yeah, it isn't amazing. Right. What are you supposed to do with the spikes? As far as the walls and all of that. Yeah, it feels like very possibly there's a wall here, and you just wouldn't ever be able to reach that wall. I kind of wish there was more of a distinctive reason why, like, some walls would be paintable and others would not, which make a lot of sense to me, just to make it more efficient, to have rock walls and things of a natural aesthetic not be paintable, and then what would happen is all the human-made looking things, such as buildings, would be paintable, and then rocks and trees and things like that would instead end up being colored by just the percentage of other buildings around it being colored. Let's go ahead and do this quest. Unless you do something really weird here. Should be very easy. So weirdly, that just puts you in the exact same spot either way. I must have missed a decent amount of content here, because I shouldn't just now have unlocked that. Okay, I mean, I've got the blimp already. I do see that there's at least one thing I missed over there. Still not really sure about these, like, walls. It weirdly just doesn't feel like there is anything left to do. And the game does just seem like it kind of intentionally leaves some inky roads here and there. So yeah, I really don't want to get down to the abyss part though. Let me ask this question. Could I get on top of the tube? You could, but it would not really work well. I'm struggling just to get it in the tube. Let's see. Right there on the edges of the paint section. What does this do? Brings us to an area we've already been. So it'd have to be like there are a lot of radians or a lot of billboards. A lot of challenges. It does look like there's maybe something in that general direction way higher. I don't think I'm supposed to like jump down there to reach that. We have a limited amount of time. So I guess this is supposed to be the Hanging Gardens part of the game. And yeah, I could have expected a lot more. What does the red mean in the top right of the score? I wonder. It might be that the red indicates just how many more points you need. To unlock the next gate in the next section. Kind of got a lot of time. Kind of got a lot of everything else. It just doesn't really feel like we have found everything. But that might be wrong. Let's just look at the progress. We've got 51% painted, half the trees, about half the radians, which probably means I missed some. More than half the billboards, more than half the styles, half the challenges, half the transforming, and only 2 of 6 of the landmarks. Which, yeah, that just tells me that we're probably not that far into this level, and this is just a really long-running level. Of course, this is what can kill a run easily, just by having the player spend way too much time. Like way too much time in the old sections, being thorough. Being overly thorough. Oops, sorry, hit my microphone. They ruined the archaeological ruins. The hollow turf is now an industrial sector. Tear down their pumps and clean the waterways. The gate to the Hanging Gardens awaits. You almost have to kind of bend over backwards to tell a story like this and not just come off 100% anti-industry, anti-automation improvement of how you would manufacture things. Let's make this sector ours, Blob. Hit the Ink police station with 50 brown paint points. I'll stop the reinforcements. They'll rue the day they attack Chroma City. So, yeah, what I would say is, if you're going to tell that kind of story, you need to start by perhaps showing a better intro cutscene than what they did, where it showed that the characters of Chroma City were living in harmony with nature and that they had all of their wants and desires met, and that this industrialization is not necessary, which I don't think they quite did that. They showed us kind of happy people, sure, but what do we need? Blue. Blue and red together makes purple. Because there is this real danger here that we might just be working for the bad guys who are ruining potential important industrial progress. For perhaps less of a reasonable reason than you might think. I wouldn't say they've done an absolute terrible job of showing the Ink people as being the bad guys. But are we going to have to defeat the entirety of the Inked? Or are we going to potentially turn the Inked to our side and only defeat the evil general? In most games you would expect it would just be the evil general that needs to be defeated, and then all the other Inked people might be done. And yeah, sure, nobody likes boring, cold work jobs and working environments, but some of those boring working environments, cubicle type working environments, actually do have a small reason to exist. I hate to potentially have to shill for potential big business, but it's childish to really look at everything as being 100% black and white. There definitely was a point, and this is something I think most people never realize or don't forget. There definitely was a point where industrialization and automation took a lot of dangerous mining and factory working jobs and turned them into office working jobs, which were nowhere as physically dangerous, at least. There definitely was a point where having an office job was a sign of being more successful. Oh, you really could die multiple times if you're not careful. The challenge we have right now, I think, is probably to do this one. I don't think we're going to unlock anything until we get here. Another thing they certainly could have done is made it so that this is totally about jumping around in circles, isn't it? They could have made it so that the widgets or whatever is being produced by the Inky people is pointless, like gadgets, pointless things nobody actually wants. Yeah. See, now the bar is at like full red in the top right. Still don't really know what that's supposed to mean. Come on. They did try that somewhat, in all fairness. They showed the people just pressing a black and white button, which does look like very meaningless activity. Okay. May have already taken out the turrets, but clearly that's the only challenge. It definitely feels like there should be a different way to present challenges. Story challenges that you have to do versus optional challenges. I do like the arrows, though. I think that's kind of cute to have the spiral with the paintbrush in the hand. $60 purple power. Red, blue, purple, and then tap the A button for 60 times. Inherently in the Wii version of this, when you were waggling back and forth, a waggle was probably counting as more than just one waggle. And even at that, swinging a Joy-Con back and forth 60 times is probably a lot easier than tapping A 60 times. Although, the waggling motion of the Wii certainly Would have been funny to watch somebody playing a game like this. Although that's about half of all the Wii games, really, in a nutshell. So it looks like you're simulating a sex act in the air with the Joy-Cons. I don't know if Nintendo cared, or they probably didn't care, but they would have had to at least thought things through there. Using Chroma Sprint. Sounds them forever. Blue, purple, orange, yellow. Oh man. Orange, yellow, purple. Let's see. This is gonna be a tall order. There. Let's see if we can get one orange painted in. No. Okay. Now we need yellow. Where'd the yellow go? Yellow somewhere here. You just don't see it. Yellow must be like at the top. Okay. Be careful. Don't touch anything. Not supposed to touch. Okay. Blue. Oh, that's purple. We've got 20 seconds. That made that one particularly difficult. Weirdly, I would say that is much more of a challenge on these painting quests, painting challenges. A lot of the other ones, not so much. Let's see what this quest is. Blue and green. Okay. So we want green. I need to get up to this high section first. I mean, this is all blue. It's this that they want green. Or blue. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to lock onto the paint. Increasingly, I'm just yelling at the game. hit that as blue, and let's hope that that's close enough. There we go. And then I think we pretty much know how to do this. Make it a rainbow. What? Hello? Yellow, green, blue. That's all of those. Green, brown. We need red. Red's all that. And then that's orange. Is that even a rainbow though? Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, or violet? I mean, I guess it's close enough. Particularly since there is no violet, or no difference between a violet and an indigo. So I guess the question to ask is, how far are we from quest? Have we done everything in this area? That's interesting, this doesn't paint. Feels like we've done everything in this area. Although, there's really just no guarantee that we've actually 100% painted the whole map. Kind of guaranteed that we haven't. I'm not even sure we've filtered out all the water that could be filtered out. Move on. The ink treatment plant lies ahead, Blob, and is well defended. We're back to seeing fire. Ambushes and traps await you in the twisting byways. Persevere until you reach the prize. Reclaiming the Hanging Gardens is the greatest of Rydo. Okay. All roads lead to ink treatment plant. Blob come in with all the color ignited. Pink inked police station with orange paint. Right behind you. Yellow, red, and cycle around and grab it. The old heads-up display changes in the top right and the bottom right. Get into this road. New challenge appears. I suppose inherently you have this worse version of this game that could have existed, in which you had to shake and waggle to paint anything. That could have been a nightmare. Get the red paint. Get the yellow paint. Take out the orange characters. See what this does. 100 of any color. literally putting two huge amounts of button presses next to each other. Now, if I had to go into every single building and waggle, that would be insane. It's a little insane you're doing this at all. Like, you'd almost think that it would be a combination lock where you had to maybe just go into it as a red blob and then go into it a second time as a blue blob and then a third time as a yellow blob, something like that. Although that would be complicated. Can jump over here. I guess the electric feedback that you get when you're near a target probably is an indicator that you haven't started the challenge to take on that building. I have 17 minutes. So unless this level gets really, really long, which it may, I must be in a pretty good position. Orange. 50 orange paint. I'm already orange. That's not a coincidence. Obviously the yellow and red were next to each other. So I turned myself orange. Now if that drained this area of water and exposed more, that would be a little bit nicer. It's just too much work to try to paint every little building. Okay, moving forward, and these gears can be painted, but they don't do anything. You'd think that you would have to paint the gears to lower bridges, and then that would just be another way in which you could be gated out of a region. You could feel a level of progress too by start this one by lowering bridges. Here we go to higher grounds, and then we'll just come back here later. These Z jumps really highlight, though, that a lot of times the game really does just want you to ignore the ground levels. And then it's the other challenges that would push you back. Weirdly, I think I can just go over there. So it does just kind of feel like the game wants me to go ahead and take this on. Take on the ink treatment plant. Interesting. So this is kind of a big boss fight section. And it is a nice round area where you're being asked to usually fight enemies. I apparently missed some enemies though. Yep. Challenge in 1. This is just like a great location, even though you are surrounded by a lot of ink. It lets you run in a circle. I kind of would have hoped to see more of that in general, just running around in circles to get paint. See, what I'm trying to do here is target that to smash that to get to a higher spot, and it's really not something the game has really let me do before, and it's not something the game's really letting me succeed at greatly right now either. If I had to touch every single gear to paint it though, I wouldn't enjoy that. I guess what we're doing here is getting the bonus mode in an area where you're likely not needed to actually paint in things at a specific color. Expecting there to be more. See, the walls are giving you 100, so I do think, as far as towards the progress of painting something in 100% of the time, probably do have to paint in all the walls, at least the building walls. Maybe not the artificial walls or the rock walls. Opposite of artificial. Those are painting in. Let's see, what's the number? Doesn't seem like it is giving me a number at all for doing that. There's all the trees painted in. Still would be fairly nice if you could just press A and splat on something and shoot out at least a small sphere of paint. Yeah, the rocks are giving you 10. And paint those in. start this quest. Okay. Whoops. All the music goes down quiet. This is kind of a great example though. If I was getting 50 instead of 30 when destroying these paint bots, that would be nicer. We need yellow. Take out the rest of these guys. But I take them all out now when the quest isn't actually started, and who knows, maybe that just resets the enemy count and I go back to reset that quest. Game is pointing me towards the terraformer instead of any of the challenges. Which I guess it was somewhat helpful to see that. So low on paint. It doesn't really feel like you can die very easily in this game permanently, which maybe makes an argument that you shouldn't be able to die at all. If this was a case where you just went hollow, yeah, if you just went colorless, and then after going colorless you could always just attack a paint bot and recover from that affliction and continue playing, that would be nice. I could even see an argument that when you are colorless, maybe you wouldn't move as fast, although in all fairness this character is moving pretty slow already, so it would kind of suck if they slowed him down even more. Alright. Upward we continue. Get as much paint. I guess maybe if there was just a repaint mode, that might work. Okay. Just have no paint, though. It's not really a good place to pick up the paint. And it's not like you're regenerating your health through this system. Best case scenario is to literally cycle in a circle around here, building up your reserves. Otherwise, these characters are just no challenge at all. That took a lot of time. That didn't take any skill. Although, if this was really designed well to be a kids game, it should just take up maybe a little bit of time and not a lot of skill. Because, yeah, kids games, in my opinion at least, shouldn't be that skill-based. Maybe should be some skill in some kids games, but not a lot. Still not really in the best position. Okay. Level up. Wash off, I guess. I'm not just waiting until yellow respawns. Having 2 fights for 2 streets doesn't really cut it. It's repetitive. I've been up this platform now 3 times, in which I would have had to been up the platform either way. Unless there was another way. Almost feels like this building should break. And that would make a ramp. But honestly, it may just be that. Let's see what the challenge here is. Yellow, orange, and red. Okay. These are supposed to be yellow. What's supposed to be orange? These are supposed to be red. And all the nicety of painting that way can't really be enjoyed because you can't see it, and even if you could see it, you're going to eventually wander back into needing to do something else with it, so you gotta paint it over again. 30 purple, 30 green, 30 orange. So it's secondary colors. Start with green. We got lucky there. That's green. Blue, and that would be green again. Red. Yellow. And blue. Green again. in the world was I supposed to make that jump? Yeah. We have like 24 more minutes. We've already been going an hour and 22 minutes, though. And I guess if we clear out all the water here, or clear out all the ink, then we're in a better position to make the jump for the style. I would say this is a slightly better twist on. Let's see. Still seems like this is a crazy jump to make, because it's not pushing all the way forward, which is what you would expect in a situation like this, is that the trick is to just push all the way up. There's a whole pipe up there that is unpainted. Yeah, the game would do well if there was a paintbrush mode or a spitting mode, some kind of shoot something from a distance mode to collect things, but also, man, easy to miss. Let me ask this: if I get in the water, do I lose paint points when I'm in the water? Yes, I do. So landing in the water is not penalty free either. This hanging garden could have more going for it, certainly. Yeah, you just have an infinite amount of time to play with this, if you want to. Not a real infinite amount of time, but nearly. Might as well be. Effectively, it's a half jump. I'm gonna get the style point, and then it's probably not even gonna matter too much. We're at 89% painted. We've gotten all the terraforming, all the landmarks. So if there's one more challenge, there's 8 more radians, and there's 1 more style. So we kind of could get everything here if everything remaining is in the last section. We've gotten the blimp. The only thing we wouldn't have gotten in this challenge, which is missing, is the timing. Just beating the level quickly, and arguably beating the level quickly has to be done in its own solo mission. I assume jumping here is just a shortcut to jump back to the very beginning of the level. I really wish the camera was more accommodating when looking at stuff like this. And yeah, we really have gone around, not just physically gone around in full circle, but we've gone around on a journey from boring city section to boring city section to the water treatment sections to hanging gardens and caverns. So just ignore what he's saying, since we know his quest is always going to just be to go forward. And see, this is a nice visual, but this is a visual that maybe could have just been a cutscene also, because it's not really doing anything for the it's not really doing anything for the gameplay mechanic. There aren't enemies in there or anything to fight with or otherwise engage with. So it looks like we can shoot ourselves back. Alright, so probably not going to paint it 100%. But I do feel like we could try to find the style and the radiance. So let's not just exit the level. There's nothing's gonna really help you here. It's just gonna be a matter of, can you find it visually? Trying to think to myself, what region would be the region that I would be most likely to have missed a radium in. This is where maybe Inky Streets might help the player if the presence of Inky Streets meant that there's something you haven't colored in that was important and big. Nope, doesn't work that way. You can see that wall there. If I was trying to paint that, I'd struggle to do that. And that is, I think, yet another example of where just a spitting mode would be nice. If I could right click and go into a first person mode and spit forward some paint, even if it's just a small bit of paint. One individual paint point's worth of paint being shot from the first person perspective still might be good enough. What happens if I'm here? Seems like nothing. If you're going to try and paint everything, it's going to be a nightmare. Well, there's the last style point. I suppose if I find the one building that isn't painted, if that's what we're missing, which there's a decent chance that is it, that would also be the radians, and that might also be the 100% of the level. What you really need, though, is if it's going to accurately count the percentage of how much something is painted in, which it feels like that's exactly what this game is doing, you need to start to give higher and higher rewards, where 99% is only a tenth of the reward compared to 99.1% and 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, just ever increasing the bonus in a non-linear fashion. I don't think I could hit that gear easily. I feel like we had painted over those buildings all the way, at least once. that's all the radians. So where are we on the progress menu then? We've gotten all the styles, all the billboards, all the radians, all the trees. Painted is 92%. Unless there was an actual necessity to paint in everything 100% of the way, I just would not really ever want to engage with that. Probably an easier way to reach this edge too. I guess if you were just going for bigger score, you could certainly run around and try and change the variety and diversify the different colored paint. Yeah, but there's just nothing you can do here. It's not realistic to spend the next 17 minutes trying to paint in everything. And that definitely wouldn't be fun. You can just push forward on this, by the way, and take your hand off the controller. Like, I stopped touching it as soon as I pushed forward. Now, if there was a persistent world, which I do think this game should have a persistent world in story mode, it would be rather boring to come back to this level and have it all painted in. But that's where you would need a compass that would point you towards the buildings you haven't painted in, which weirdly the compass is saying to go that way. Which maybe there is a compass. No, because now it's telling me to go that way, but maybe that's telling me that there's two buildings that haven't been painted. So either it's pointing in the wrong direction towards the sides here. No, there's some buildings. So let's do this. If that's the trick, and I didn't realize that that was a trick, we can totally find the buildings that haven't been painted in. Need some color. Guess strap in for a slightly longer journey, but won't really be that long of a journey. This is ruining all that fancy painting they want me to do. That was specific colors. Okay. So over here is a wall and a building. Back up there. There's another building. It's gotta be higher up, I'm sure. It's the pipe, isn't it? Alright. Do we have any color, though? There is definitely this danger, I guess, of the high tops of buildings not being painted in. Yeah. Alright, well, I'm gonna opt to leave that area and try to target other areas. It really is just every little thing, isn't it? It's pipes. It's potentially walls. It's little connecting pipes. There goes a rainbow. It's the under pipes too. Sadly, this is just another example, though, of the game really doing a terrible job of explaining its mechanics. It started off being very annoying with its mechanics, and has now gotten to the point where it's betrayed me, basically, by not explaining mechanics well enough. Quite smash this. Yeah, it seems like in this case you're going to have to come down from a higher area. We don't want to die here. It's fences too. So while I'm holding this, if I see anything that needs to be painted, I should just paint it now. Better now than later. Although some of this feels like it's not designed to be easily reached. Now that wasn't painted, but I don't think that particularly counts. And then these rods that hold up the sides, they don't. The rods that hold up the tubes don't seem to particularly matter too much. A lot of these sections not easily reachable. I guess maybe if I was a smaller version of myself, maybe I could get to the bottom. Maybe I'm supposed to do this though. Maybe I'm supposed to land on this and then hit that. Well, we've got 9 minutes left. I thought I had enough time, but I may not. There may just be a case where too many things are not painted. There is a real dangerous situation too that this would just eventually point me towards a bunch of things. And send me in a bunch of different directions. It's the pipes on the outside here. They aren't painted in. Okay. Let me get up and let me follow. More things. Am I sure I've gotten everything here? Oh, 7 minutes. The stress is on. Like, this really should just be a laid-back game, and that clock just ruins that experience. And so the real question to also ask is this really playable this way? Wow, I may literally have to hit these knobs. But would I potentially have to play all future levels now that I've figured this all out with the compass just constantly being turned on? And then is that effectively just giving us a detective vision mode or something like Batman Arkham Asylum? Way too much attention, way too much time trying to fill in color. We've got 5 minutes basically to do the remainder of this level and exit. Well, I guess if we die, we'll just lose health. So, whatever. Let's get paint as quickly as possible. more paint. There's still something that's not painted here. So I'm gonna have to just work my way around. I still don't really see the value in having the flowing color. Yep. My concern here is that the thing that's not painted in is also the pipes that have been electrified. Okay. He should jump a little bit higher out of the water. Three minutes. He doesn't want me to jump off that slided part. Okay. Back basically to the beginning of the level. Yeah, you definitely have to just lean on this button heavily. There's no way in just a natural experience you're gonna find everything. Section. We missed. There's the water. Alright, and this is going to create problems. Okay. Some more fences. How much paint do we have? Hardly a fun experience if you're spending all this extra time doing all of this. Okay. Next closest thing seems like it is whole section. See, how are we on progress though? 99%. There's something over here we missed. Just die midair, flipping times up, whatever, we've got plenty of health. If anything, maybe the game has done us a bit of a favor by spawning us near another thing. or thing that needs to be painted. It's not so much these walls as it's the... Remember they said that the sky returns to being blue as we paint in more things in the first level, and boy does that not play a role. Because you can't look up at the sky. Okay. So. We have 4 minutes. And it's the train tracks, isn't it? No? Not really. Well, I'm gonna run out of time again. I may just not have enough lives to work through this. Yeah, I really question if that isn't just the real value of having lives in this game, is that it opens the doorway up to buying you enough time. There's a whole paint score up there at the top. Although I just don't know how I would really reach it. I don't even know how to get up to where I'm supposed to be. Oh. Come on, come on. How will I exit this section? I exited that way. In 30 seconds. It says it's here. Missing. Says it's here. 2 hours. I've spent 2 hours in this level, basically, to try to get an achievement for a game I don't particularly enjoy playing that much, just because I'm a lunatic and want to get achievements. So I guess this is probably pointing me in the wrong direction, and I do need to just follow this path more. That'll be another life down. These lives may be the entirety of my lives, though. So, if I lose 3 or 4 here, then I may be 3 or 4 short for the next level. Although I'm not 100% concerned about that. The game would have to really throw some curveballs towards the end if I really thought I was gonna die. Okay, so the thing to paint is this. And that tells me there's probably another platform that I didn't paint. Yep, we just 100% painted the level. So let's just check the progress on that. 100%. Yep, which probably gives us maybe a little bit more of a multiplier, but not a significant amount of a multiplier on our score. If the awards are actually even multiplying against the score, they may not. So the only other thing we could do in this level to get one more award would be to just try for a higher score and go for the speed run. And if there was persistence in the world here, then you would enter this world and it would just be 100% painted, and then it would just be, I assume, a no time limit free paint mode where you could try to find any more collectibles that would increase your score. 101 minutes. Let's see. Looks about like 16% of people on Steam have beaten that level. But weirdly, so far it's not unlocked an achievement for getting 100% painted. And yeah, obviously we didn't speedrun it. I didn't look at how long it would have taken to speedrun it. Now weirdly, we are unlocking something new here in the Blob party, Coliseum Blob Race, which maybe means if you really love this game and wanted to love the Blob party aspect of the game, then you would have to grind quite a bit to potentially get 100% of everything else. Let's see. Did we unlock a new music? No. But see, that's as far as I can get with just one controller. So I can't even go into the Blob party to really check. Maybe you just needed to get 100% of paints everywhere. No, it definitely feels like, since I just got 100% on the Hanging Gardens and I didn't get an achievement, it definitely feels like there is an achievement for getting 100% of all the painting in every single level. And yes, we have figured out that the cursor would help you with that, but no, that does not feel like a good thing to actually go for. As far as awards go, we've gotten 41 out of 100, which that counting must be accounting for not getting 100% in each of the previous levels. Yeah, it really just comes down to the core gameplay loop being more fun. If this game had a more enjoyable gameplay loop where I'd want to spend more time in the levels even though the levels are the same. If the game didn't have that timer element to it that was adding stress for no reason, then yeah, I would potentially think about going back to each level and 100% painting it, but nah, I don't think so. And so if Chroma City Fun Park is here, it pretty obviously shows that there are 2 more locations now after that. They squeezed one extra in here. I kind of felt like maybe in the top left or the top right of the map something might show up. And it kind of feels like the screen is being filled with a sky. Maybe that's because we made more progress, or maybe the sky there is being filled in just for random reasons. Yeah. Well, that was a real disappointment to get 100% and not get that achievement. That does tell me I'm not going to get all the achievements. That does put me on a path to finish this series a lot quicker. There's not really a reason to go back and redo every single level now, even though there are styles and things that I've missed. These styles being unlocked, or getting a high score, or hitting the blimp, or getting a speed run, none of that seems to individually reward you. So if I was really good at speed running it, I don't think I'm going to get any kind of reward for doing that. It would complicate the game more than it needs to be, but if your score that you are earning in levels gave you a currency to unlock extras in the game, and then you could pick whether you like the Blob Party extras, or cutscene extras, or concept art extras, which this game doesn't seem to really have, then that would work kind of nicely so you could play your own way. People that want to see the concept arts play, grind it out, and unlock that. People that don't care about cutscenes or concept art don't play and grind it out and just have a more enjoyable experience because they don't have that grind. But yeah, since the game doesn't have that, well, we'll try each of these missions that have unlocked, and we'll try to get at least gold in the one level that I haven't gotten gold in. But that is all I think I'm gonna go for, really. For the most part, once we see the credits, I'm gonna be ready to be done. Once we've seen all the content in the game, we'll probably see the credits a little bit before we see all the content in the game. Anyways, that's been a long episode, so as always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to further follow me on any social media sites, there's some links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.